hectic, last couple of years.
Yeah, can't believe it's been 2 years already.
Yeah, true that. 2008's gone real quick, mate, especially when you're locked down.
Yeah. How about
How bad?
you?
Well, this one's worse than the first lockdown. This
What's
one.
Tell me a little bit about your guys' lockdown. It seems like it's happening different than here. Like our lockdowns were not.
Well, the government initially probably stuffed up on the vaccine rollout. That's probably what slowed things down, and made a huge difference on the impact it's had on the outbreak. And them knowing way ahead of time and not acting on it, especially with the Delta outbreak out east.
Right.
This time round, they shut everything down. Like business completely shut. There's a lot of businesses that still aren't open, like gyms, hospitality. But we got through the first one. They completely assassinated me in my business. I had a lot of international work from newcomers, but yeah, it's all gone down the drain with this pandemic, man. And
Yeah.
it's not any better. Only for the vaccinated, eh? Only
Right.
for the vaccinated. That's the way they're playing the game here. I don't know if you've been hearing about Melbourne, but there was a lot of rallies organised. Sydney seems to have given into the vaccination program. We're probably at 50% double jab at the moment.
Oh,
We
wow.
still need 70% before we can see some of the restrictions starting to lift and ease for the vaccinated. But
Right.
uh, but Melbourne's not too happy, mate. They're trying to mandate it over there, and all hell's broken loose in Melbourne. The last 3 days they've been protesting. They've made it a mandate for construction workers, for example, to have their jab, and they're not
Yeah.
happy. Yeah, yeah. About up there, you caught many lockdowns. I see you don't even have to wear the mask by mandate, eh?
We're back to mandated masks anytime you're indoors in public space. Um, but but that's really kind of it as far as mandates. They're talking about in the U.S. state and federal workers being required
Yeah,
to get vaccinations or weekly testing.
yeah.
I don't know. The whole vaccine thing is it's it's divisive. Everybody's got their opinion on it, and I
It
keep
always,
what's
it
that?
always, it always has been, hasn't it? The vaccines have always been a great debate. That
Right.
they, I ran into that a few years ago when a friend of mine developed diabetes after a vaccine, and he was adamant that it was due to the vaccine that he had.
Huh.
But what are we supposed to? We can't do anything about it anyway, man. They've indirectly mandated it, and it's practically just an exit out of the system. That's why people are taking it. No jab, no job. What are you going to do?
Right. Yeah.
You
No,
know?
that's a big piece of it. I don't know. I hate the idea of the mandate, but I'm we there's quite a bit of evidence of vaccines working. Like measles was pretty much eradicated in places where there were vaccinations. I mean, I like your friend. I'm sure there's always um, special cases where something happens.
It's a mixed opinion.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't
You've got
know.
to,
I,
we got
I I like to fall back to I have to trust in other professionals.
exactly right.
If
Exactly
if
right.
I get irritated, I've been working 20 years in traffic engineering. Everybody who has a driver's license thinks they're a traffic engineer. It's not the case.
It's the
So
case with those industries.
yeah, it
Hey,
frustrates me when people try and tell me my job that I live and breathe every day. So I,
that's how.
I I try to defer to the experts in the areas. But it's tough. It's
Yeah,
our
man.
body.
That's right, mate. That's right. And we've just seen it that we've had to do it just as an exit to systematic pressure. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of debate because there's also a lot of vaccinated people dying.
Yeah.
That's what there's a lot of debate. And then there was also that skepticism about usually a vaccine takes a good 10 to 20 years to develop.
Right.
And this time they came out with, I think, 4 or 5 different vaccines in the space of 12 months. So that itself caused a bit of, distrust by the people.
Oh, for sure. It's a accelerated timeline.
Yeah, man. And then seeing a lot of people that are vaccinated still contracting the disease and passing away with it. And then we've got other things like, I don't know, have you got the AstraZeneca vaccine over there?
No.
We've got one of that. The AstraZeneca one is the one that caused a big polemic. There was a lot of reactions, and like people claiming that utensils stick to their arms after they've had the vaccine. I haven't experienced it. That's the one that I've taken it, but I haven't experienced any problems at all, and I'll probably feel a lot better after the vaccine mentally.
Yeah, no, to me that's a huge piece. Like
it was doing my head in, man. Like that's just because the disinformation that it's coming, it's all this. No one knows what's going on, so that just causes mass confusion, and that's what we're seeing in comparison to the first lockdown. The first lockdown, we're still getting, we're still kicking along. We're still registering it. Oh yeah, COVID-19, blah blah. Who's to blame? Oh, who we think is to blame is being exposed. Blah blah. China's responsible. Blah blah. And so that sort of quietens your mind down with small little closures along the way.
Yeah.
But now, even the politicians, I hope you're not watching our politics, man, because it's pretty bad at the moment. It's a clear example of we need a government change because these guys don't have a clue what they're doing. And I understand because we don't have a clue what we're talking about either. So they're just at a higher level trying to work things out for everybody and probably just as lost as everybody else. But it's not helping by keeping the people locked down. I think that you're better off, just like any other situation, like you're better off fighting through it regardless of what it is than being disabled by it, and just being left to linger. Your business is shut down. You can't make an earning. You can no longer provide for your family, kids and families. So that brings up other issues. It's broken down a lot of families and a lot of relationships that weren't strong enough to hold through. Like, it's caused a lot of problems, man. Especially
for sure, man. It's shown how fragile our whole
system is.
System and world and civilization. It's we've gone through like all kinds of economic insecurities in the past, but this kind of just really shines a bright light on all systems. Just how we as society.
That's right. And as much as we live through our lives and think that we live in a secure, safe world, this clearly highlights that we are nowhere near ready for anything serious, mate. And thank God nothing serious happens, because if the hospital systems can't cope with this, imagine a real war. It's real sad, man. But that's enough of sadness for today. Have you put in your workout today? I guess so. You already worked out.
What was that?
Have you put in your workout today? You've already done
sir. Wednesday's the big day. Is lunchtime with the crew, and then come home and do my bench routine. I've been following that UF powerlifter YouTuber.
Oh yeah.
I just switched back to him this week. My bench just felt like it. I changed some things up, and it felt like a mess. And then right after that, straight into burpees.
Cool. How long have you been working where you are at the moment?
This routine?
Yeah.
I've been adding stuff. So pretty much I've been doing this for about 6 months now.
Okay.
This level.
Yeah, but calisthenics is the best,
Yeah, they're
best. And how long? What made you start YouTubing?
You guys. It's just seriously. I mean, like, I don't know. It was at some point I think somebody said something like it's easy to critique somebody's videos, but it's a different thing when you're being a creator. I mean, you're putting it out there. I'm just a dude. I'm just trying to. I started doing it kind of for just logging purposes, just to see like my progression.
Yeah.
But another YouTuber also said like, if that's fine and all, but do you want to watch your videos? If you don't even want to watch your video, it might have been Weightlifting Geek who said it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to watch your videos, then
think
who else is going to? So I started kind of. I'm trying to make them better, basically. Like, it's still being recorded, but I enjoy the editing. Your editing is.
Thank you, mate. I feel like I'm still in crawling stages and in pull-ups with YouTube. Seriously. But I've paid a lot of attention to the editor that I did start using, which was Video Guru. And that's
Okay.
right now I'm on my laptop, which is still brand new, miraculously, but it's 10 years old. So I don't use it very often, but when I do, I go through Movie Maker.
Okay.
But I got really used to the Video Guru, and it seems to be working all right. But from my point of view, I edit because I find I don't have a YouTube studio created, so I don't have that one set space. So I find that the editing sort of breaks up the monogamy from the boring backdrop. So that's why I edit.
Right.
If I had a studio set up, I probably wouldn't edit as much. But just to change it up a bit, I guess, make it a bit more for the viewer. But myself personally as well, man, I had no intention of becoming a YouTube creator until the pandemic hit. Like pandemic hit the first time we were locked down. I found myself consuming a whole heap of fitness content because I got depressed from the pandemic.
Yeah.
It hit me, like I was depressed hard. So I started watching a bit of YouTube, consuming a bit of content, and I was actually consuming a lot of Sean G. Great channel.
A lot of what?
A lot of Sean G. Gumby Publishing. Gumby
Okay.
Publishing on YouTube. Great channel. And I started consuming a lot of calisthenics, burpees, stuff like that, life coaching. And I started consuming a lot of Red Shot Black Star, which was another calisthenics channel. And that sort of helped me keep my head straight for a little bit. And then as I consume more and more, I thought, you know what? Maybe I should start my own channel, keep my head busy,
Right.
keep me mentally sane, away from the rope. And here we are,
You're doing awesome, man. I mean, what do you have, like 3,500?
I'm sitting on 5.35, and I have no idea.
Oh, I got them reversed.
I have no idea why they're there, but I'm very grateful for the loyal support so far. You guys always come through and show me some support, dropping awesome comments. I mean, recording yourself is great for any sports situation because you get to see your form, but to have someone give you positive criticism, that's even better. And I found that, there's a lot of positivity in you. There's a lot of good people. I don't know who this guy that's popped into our chat is, but he's obviously a bit violent. Killed all. Wrong channel, mate. This is the peace channel. The Unity channel. Hitler's a bit outdated, mate. That stuff doesn't work anymore, But he was a terrible character, Hitler.
Oh yeah.
Terrible character.
Yeah, I don't get that whole side of the internet. There's that whole the whole commenting thing from people who just wanna rage,
Exactly right. They just want to hate.
Yeah.
I find that I've only been here not going on 10 months, and I find there's a lot of good people, but there's also a lot of strange characters that you've got to be with. There's a lot of undesirables out there.
Yeah.
For sure. How often do you So you're on about 100 subs, 106, I think.
On subscribers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like 120 something.
Do you use any platforms to drive traffic to your channel?
Uh, a little bit of Instagram, but I don't post there enough. That's probably where I'm not doing as well as I could be, you know, to try and um, push folks there. But at the same time, I'm not really in a big hurry to build up subscribers. So
I guess you get them when you're ready too. It's better to just take it easy.
yeah,
You know, like for me, there would be no use having 10,000 subscribers or 20,000 subscribers now because I'm still in my learning stages anyway. So I guess, you know, by taking it easy and not rushing the process and trusting the process, it'll be a lot smoother when it comes time instead of just tripping over all the time. But I guess that's how we get experience, man. You know, like I like these lives because I can't talk to a camera. I can't do it. My brain starts talking to itself. And it's like, oh, I'm going crazy, you know. But these guys do it all right. They do it all the time. I'm thinking, if I know there's someone behind it, it's fine. I'm comfortable, you know. But
yep.
just talking to the camera, I feel like a lunatic sometimes.
I totally agree, man. Totally agree. It feels it's like I'll throw out a sentence sometimes. That's why I'm grateful for my sister getting on and doing burpees with me. Because I can, you know, I could talk with her or like you, like with this, but just straight to a camera, I'm like, I struggle with it. It's so weird.
I suck myself. What part of America are you
In California, I'm about an hour north of LA.
Oh, cool. I'm in Sydney, man.
Sydney?
Sydney, Australia.
Yeah.
But that's a great place, America. I've got some family in Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a cousin in the U.S. Marines as well.
Where's he at? Is he in Jersey?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Oh, yeah.
Before don't know where he is at the moment, but a couple of years ago, he was based in Hawaii. Yeah.
I got to go to Hawaii. I was in the Navy for 4 years. I got 1 month of training over in Hawaii.
Awesome.
I got to go out one time, one day.
Hawaii's an interesting place, eh? Like I've been watching some extensive documentaries on the Hawaii, and what the world sees, you know, the holiday Hawaii, that's
Right.
all the world sees. But the other side of Hawaii, no one sees that, eh?
Yeah.
And it's a colourful place. It's just no one sees it. They just flowered shirts and the sunshine and the nice beaches, and they go to Hawaii and then actually see the devil of Hawaii.
Kind of like Vegas.
Yeah, exactly
Las
right,
Vegas. Man. There's a different world there than the even from like the known seediness of everything. There's a even darker side.
Yeah, man. I've watched this movie twice. Have you watched The Revenant? I found it really interesting. It's a Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
No, I don't think so. I've heard of it.
Based on the early days of colonization in America, when the French were there, the English were there, and all that shish kebab with the Native Indians. Awesome movie, bro. You gotta check this movie out.
I'll check it out.
It's a banger of a movie, and I guarantee you watch it more than once. He does a good role, man. Good role in that movie, and it just highlights what they really went through. Like things were so brutal back in those days, you know.
Oh yeah.
These days, they just want to release a virus. They don't want to fight it. They'll just release a virus, you know, and they'll release another one. Apparently, we've got another one on the way, the MU strain. I don't know if you heard about that one, but everyone's concerned with that new strain, the MU.
Yeah.
Which has already hit Colombia.
That's what?
It's already hit Colombia, apparently, over there. It's already infected like 5,000 people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's
hard to beat something you can't see.
Yeah, it is. It creates a whole weird feel in the world. Like, I've always been a little bit germophobic, you know, just not even really germophobic, just like conscious of it, like, and this is amped it up. I have to keep myself in check about things. Like,
What about the days of
we're
paramilitary?
designed for it.
Exactly right. It's a mechanical world we live in, man, and we're just part of the machine. That's how we've got to see things.
Right.
Nothing's personable in this planet.
No.
Nothing. We're not going to keep any of this.
Yeah.
We just borrow it. The only thing we're going to get to take with us are the experiences that we achieve in life. Apart from that, we're just borrowing everything we have. Just people are a bit. I find that the last few generations have been a bit twisted by governments and power. And I think that's what's affected the lack of people's education in certain parts of life is what's created these problems. For example, they'll ask someone to go and vote, but the person voting doesn't even know the difference between a socialist or a Democrat, for example.
Right.
So you got these people putting other people in power that have really got no idea what the hell they're doing. That itself, along the line, down 30, 40 years down the track, it all starts to catch up.
Right.
Especially when you got emergencies like pandemics, virus outbreaks. They don't know what to do. And we copped it just before the virus kicked in. We had the fires.
You guys were having insane fires out there.
Oh, we went through the fires, then we went through the floods, then the pandemic hit, then we were let go for about 6 months, and now for the last 3.5 months, we've been in lockdown. Meaning that we locked down, we've gone through curfews in certain LGAs, local government areas. There's been curfews. If you're a worker, you've got to get tested every 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
The jab now that you can't leave your LGA without at least one shot of the vaccine. There's a lot of things going on, and the economic support that came with the first lockdown was not handed out with the second. So even things they promised like business support, everyone got rejected. This last 4 months, only 3 businesses have been paid or helped out by the government. So something is going on in this state. I don't know how politics here are a bit funny now. They're a bit mafiaized.
Oh yeah.
The politics in this country are a little bit mafiaized, in my opinion. But because everything's different. Every state is different, thinking different. It's not. They're not coming together as one to take care of the problem. Each premier or each head in charge has got their way or their way of thinking and their way of acting, which I think slows things down. That's how we ended up, delaying the vaccine rollout process, which probably would have saved us 3-month lockdown and 160 billion lost just in business, and that's in general. So you got people that will never come back from this, like hospitality. A lot of restaurants won't open back up again.
Yeah, I'm still remaining hopeful for them. I think people still are gonna want to eat, so it's gonna be I don't know anything here. I'm just guessing. From my experience in life, but
me too, man. I'm just venting. I'm just venting. I only know what they put out, and I still don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it just doesn't feel right because you can't get closure on it. So you're always hovering in the next information, And every day it's different. Every day it's different. Every day. And then with lockdowns, we still get high case numbers. Like we're locked down. How are we getting 1,200 case numbers a day if we're locked down?
Well, that was the crazy thing. I was looking at your guys' case numbers. I don't remember why or when, but it was pretty recently. The fact that your guys' case numbers are I think for your state are even lower than our city a while back, and we're
in comparison to population numbers, they probably are lower than yours, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, in comparison to the rest of Australia,
Right.
They're through the roof. And Melbourne's starting to catch fire now with it as well. When they were like, they copped the worst. They were in lockdown for 9 months.
Oh wow.
9 months, man, they were in lockdown. That's why this time around, they're just not tolerating it. And people have had enough. There's nothing left to do. I mean, like, when that's all you've got left, no job, no family, you might as well fight. Better than sitting around waiting for something to fall out of the sky. But all we can do is wait and see, man. See what happens. But I don't think it's going to get any better. I don't think these vaccines are going to help.
No.
I don't know. I don't think. I think it's only going to guarantee us freedoms. I don't think they'll guarantee us life at all. These vaccines, because we can still contract it, we can still catch it. There's people in hospital that have had the vaccine and getting sick. Some even died vaccinated. Yeah, it's just a systematic exit out of all the red tape that's been wrapped around us. Because at the moment, you need permits for everything. You can't leave. You've got to jump on. There's a site called New South Wales. You got to. It's a government site. You got to jump on and register all your movements. If you're working, you've got to get tested every 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
That test itself, they don't tell you, but the small print on the back of the test, the swab, has the same chemicals as the antifreeze that goes into your car to cool it down. So there's a lot of things going on that, so it doesn't affect you while it's dry, but once they shove it up your nostril and they wet the swab, that literally can change the building blocks of your genetics. They're mucking around with a lot of things here, and their luck is that people just aren't up to scratch, and they're getting away with it. Education-wise, people aren't up to scratch, so they get away with everything, and we have no option. We have no option at all, man, but to just kick along with it and get left alone that way. Otherwise, where you going? We've got military all over the streets. It's about to get ramped down in about 7 days. We've got a lot of police, a lot of military on the streets enforcing these restrictions, making a killing out of it, actually. I mean, they've locked people down. They can't work. They can't earn. But you breach a COVID restriction, you cop a $3,000 fine. Doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, how are you supposed to pay that fine if you can't even go to work?
Sounds like Australia's got a little different than we've got here.
Man, we've got a real problem on our hands. They just keep fucking around with it. I think they should have just been straightforward. I believe in leadership. I believe that you lead by example.
Say that again?
I believe that you lead by example.
Oh yeah.
Our government at the moment is no example. I mean, they're making too many mistakes, man. And that's why we've got the problems that we've got. We've got ambulances getting turned away from the emergency department. Someone's got COVID, they can't even make it into ER. They've got to wait outside in the car park inside the ambulance. It's just a shocker. Right. Man, going through it. And hopefully they don't face a real issue, because then we're going to see some real shit. It's going to be really bad. But how's the weather up your way, man?
That's the problem with Ventura, is the weather here is perfect all the time. We're lucky, man. It's the only problem is we don't get any rain. I mean, that's a major problem. We don't have nearly enough water. But
lucky you're not a farmer there, mate, because then the crops would be suffering.
Yeah, well, 2018 we had a big fire in the city, in the county. We're like the second largest in the state for about a year until this last round.
Or you'd have to bring water in, I guess, but that costs too much money. You'd have to bring it in. Fire brigade would bring it in, fill up the dam.
Yeah, we're working on it. But yeah, it's expensive to bring, expensive to bring any infrastructure in, especially from outside.
Cost you an arm and a leg just to fill up the swimming pool. So imagine what you have to bring water in to fill up a dam.
Right.
Weather here's been alright. but up and down. We just hit spring.
What's
So
that?
The weather here's starting to get a little bit better. We've just gone into spring.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's been a bit up and down, but it's hot, then it's cold, then it's hot, then it's cold. But today it's actually decent. No? We're sitting on about 27 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. The sun's out. Beautiful, mate. Beautiful. Looking forward to doing a training video a little bit later.
Perfect weather for workouts.
Yeah, especially outdoor ones. And
Yeah.
with this last lockdown, with the past lockdown, everyone was going out to work out. You'd still see a lot of people in the park. But
Right.
this time around, the restrictions even affected for a while, affected the outdoor training because you couldn't. I think group sessions were out of the question, so you'd have to train on your own if you were out. I think time's limited as well. Luckily, that's all been lifted now.
Good.
That's why I've ended up I just gave up traveling around to parks, So I just ended up using the backyard. And otherwise, it's just too much risk, man. Too much risk to go out and contract COVID on your hands and bring it back home. Bring it back, everyone. I don't know, man. This is, it's an insane world we live in, eh?
It is, man. This is just another.
Also, experience gives me experience in talking to the camera. I really like these lives, I've got to start doing them more often.
I got to work on that one too. Weightlifting Geek's other buddy, Luke with LMZ Fitness.
Yeah.
He mentioned that like that's something you got to work on. It's just getting better at talking to the camera because
He's a natural. But TWLG, he's a natural. He talks to the camera really well, smooth on his videos. He probably does it at work a lot, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Zoom conferencing and whatever, But,
yeah, I do that. I do that all day, but I don't know. But there's an audience still. It's like I can talk to you like this without a problem. Like it's still talking to somebody, but if it's just a screen of me and I'm talking to myself, it's hard for me to imagine, talking to you.
Or you've got to take endless takes. Well, I can do it, but it's got to be a bit at a time. And then I'll stop, and then I'll put it all together and make it sound perfect. Hey, that's what the editing comes in your hand. What are you doing tomorrow for a workout?
Tomorrow's Thursday, so Thursday's kind of our mellower day. It's for my lunchtime workouts. There's 3 of us that do the programming. One buddy does Mondays. I do Tuesday. We kind of share Wednesday. Another buddy does Thursday, and then Friday is kind of the city hall's closed every other Friday, so it's kind of sometimes we'll go to the beach. We just make that one up. So tomorrow, a lot of times we'll just do a round robin where everybody just comes up with something at lunch. But then burpees, and then the wife is telling me, and I'm in agreement that it's a hiking day tomorrow.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, you got to get out and get some fresh air, man.
Yeah, the hiking has elevated my my emotional and mental. My wife got into hiking and walking, and man, it's just to get out in nature, like on some hills that I've showed you guys. Like,
yeah, it's a great way to get inspired, especially when you've got to create videos. Especially when you're YouTube, it's great to get out there with your environment because it just opens your mind up. I find it does. Sometimes if I've got a creator's block, and I don't know what to do that day, which happens especially when you do it every day. Yeah, when you try to create every day, you do run into it just like a writer gets writer's block. I find that doing something different, either like drawing, I'll go draw my little one for a bit. Or I'll go for enjoy your natural environment as well. Things like that open up creativity again.
Yeah, it's nourishing, man. Nourishes the soul.
It's great therapy, man.
Yeah,
it enriches the soul, all right. And that's one thing I've found over the last 2 years, I think everyone's gotten a lot more spiritual since this pandemic's hit. I mean, the awakened ones, anyway. The awakened ones. There's a lot of people out there still blindfolded by the devil, um, by the wrong things. But the awakened ones have found that this time, I mean, it's as bad as it is. How often do you get the chance to spend it on yourself? You know, get out there and do things that you don't usually do. You know, but spirituality is grown a lot these last 2 years. I think people paying attention to the right things in life instead of the wrong denominators.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Life's lessons, bro. Just as we start falling apart, we start understanding it all.
Right.
True.
You talked about you got some depression at the beginning of this pandemic, and I had it. That brace I wear was from getting hit by a car like just over 10 years ago now.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't even realize I was in a funk, man. I just kind of stopped. I couldn't do anything that I was doing prior to that. And like a year into it, I'm like, I got to start doing stuff again. I didn't realize that I was kind of sliding down a slope until, a year after I had started doing, some physical stuff again. So it's hard to even keep an eye on yourself,
Exactly right. I completely understand where you're coming from because it didn't take me long to recognize it that something was up because I just lost all motivation for anything.
Right.
And I wasn't doing the things I usually would do. I mean, regardless of what was happening in life, I'd never been the type to just get knocked down by it and just stop and freeze. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what the pandemic did to me because I couldn't understand it. So obviously, you're paranoid. Oh, I can't let that. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the initial stages of it. It really did cause some confusion. But it probably lasted a good 12 months, man. You know, probably lasted a good 12 months before I started registering it and dealing with it.
Right.
And now I think I've started to come out of it in these last probably 3 months, man, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I've promised myself I'll never let myself get affected by anything in life like that again, man. Because I think sometimes by the way we mature makes us more susceptible to things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do
I mean,
you get my drift? Like if
Yep.
you were young and
yeah, it just bounced off you.
yeah, but because our level of understanding is a little bit higher at this, I'm nearly 50, so I've lived nearly half a century myself. So at this level, you start to really think about everything, man, and
Yeah.
and know what's important for you and what you really want in life instead of what you wanted before. And that's a great realization for me, anyway.
Yeah,
For
me too.
For me, that's the best pay in life. You know what I mean? It's not money, it's not subs, it's not views. It's just who we become by everything we do.
Yeah.
But it's taken me 50 years to work it out, which is a bit
Hopefully
slow.
halfway.
It's your while to work it out, and you start falling apart, man. By the time you start understanding life, your time to go. That's all
Yeah.
I say.
That saying, the youth is wasted on the young is starting to make a little more sense now.
Exactly right, man. Exactly right. Like that other saying, revolution is youth's duty. And I think that was a Fidel Castro quote. I think. And now they don't think that way anymore. Like the youth is the youth. There's no like backing out 50 years ago. The youth wanted to follow traditions that were laid out by our ancestors. These days, they want to destroy those traditions and create their own.
Right.
The world's flipped on its head. What time is it over there?
Almost 8.
Oh, yeah, 10 to 1 p.m. over here.
Yeah.
Afternoon.
I don't know about you, but I'm a early to bed guy.
Oh yeah. But do you go to bed early?
Oh yeah, I go to bed about 8:39, but I get up at 5,
You get up.
4:35.
You get up earlier that way, man. Like Jocko Willing. Have you heard of him?
Who?
Jocko Willing.
Uh-uh.
He does stuff with what's his name? David Goggins.
Oh, okay.
He does, and he's like, he's
Oh,
adamant.
yeah.
He wakes up at 4:30 every day. 4:30.
Yeah.
If I wake up at 4:30, man, at least until 6:30, I'll be a zombie. I'll need at least 2 hours, 2 hours to wake up properly. I don't know how they do it, but I think that's the trick. Wake up early, get moving before your mind catches on.
Right.
That
Yeah,
way
exactly.
you're training out of the way. By the time you start waking up, well, I've already done the work here. And it's only like 6. Hey, yeah, man. No, it helps. It helps wake up early. I think, especially in the good seasons, I like waking up early. But when it comes to winter, I don't mind a bit of a sleeping.
Yeah. Well, it's all dark. You're like, what are you
Yeah,
gonna
man.
do?
Spring and summer, I'm up with the birds, man. 6 o'clock, as soon as the sun rises, I'm
Yeah.
out there already enjoying it, man. But it was great to meet you, man.
You
Good
too,
to know.
Claudio. So
Thank you
glad
very-
you set this up, man.
No, I'm glad I did because I got to meet you. I got to put a voice on the comments. I thank you for coming through all the time and supporting me and giving me the opportunity to gain a bit more experience as well with these lives. And hopefully we can do it again. And next time maybe we can do we can get the weightlifting geek on with us as well.
There you go.
Create like a conference.
Keep building the community, man.
Yeah, man. Keep on it. It was good to
Exactly.
meet you, yeah?
Yeah.
You have a great day, brother.
All right, man. You too.
Before we go, is there anyone that you want to give? Is there anyone or another creator that you would want to give a shout out to?
Okay. Yeah. Actually, Paul with Can't Shake Me.
Oh yeah.
Have you caught his channel?
No, I haven't checked it out, but now
Oh,
that you
man.
definitely go in and check it out.
I just was watching his video before we jumped on. He took on Flux Fitness, put out that challenge of 50 single pump burpees, 50 squats, 50 Navy SEALs, and then Throstle did it in 14 minutes and blew away Tommy's time. Paul just did it and did it in 11 minutes. He has, and I'm gonna butcher it.
Some guys on those burpees, they're machines, man. Like Wally,
Don't kill me for forgetting this, Paul. He has a neurological disorder, and sometimes I have major brain farts. But the man is just an animal in the workout world. So Paul Can't Shake Me.
what, are you subscribed to Wally Paul Fitness Time?
Yep.
You are. He's awesome at the burpees too, eh?
Oh man,
They always get me, man. The burpees. Like, I think I get 100 in about. I'm useless with them, to tell you the truth. I get 100 in about 12 minutes.
4?
12? No, in about 12 minutes for 100. 4 minutes with a heart attack. With a heart attack, mate. Oh, what's not, Chris? It's like, no. I better calm down. Yeah, man. They're really real cardiovascular testing, I'll tell you that much. But
Yeah.
I'm glad I reintroduced them into my training regime because they make a huge difference.
Yeah. They're a good little topper.
That's it, brother. It was good talking to you, huh?
You too, man. Thank you for this.
Enjoy your night, and I'll see you again. I'll see you
All
around.
right, brother. You have a great day.
Peace. You too, brother.
All righty.